Alright, MrSotko here, and welcome back to another Wargame Red Dragon replay cast. Today it's another 3 vs 3 4chan game, and it is round 2 in the tournament, so it is best of 3 series. And on the right side of the map here, we have our red team that consists of the very long, hard to pronounce Polish name that I swore that I wouldn't try to pronounce again because I probably totally destroyed it the first time. However, the name is in the description, and you give it a try. So it consists of Nexon, Morpheus, and Mauritius. And on the left side, we have a much easier pronunciation, Team A and Z, that consists of Faust, Nandamoni, and Meso, I believe. I hope I'm not destroying that either. But every day is a challenge when you're casting online games with various players' names. But it's all good and fun. And another thing about this particular game, I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take Faust's deck, and I'm going to put it in the description of the game here. And so you guys can take that and try out what Faust is using. And he is the #1 ranked player in the game, is the field marshal of the game, and he's consistently the field marshal. I don't even remember the last time that he wasn't, probably some time ago. And so you guys can check out that deck. Just go ahead and copy and paste that, import that into your own deck, and take a look at it right now. He is clearly using a either Commonwealth or a British deck. And Lynx is here landing with the CV. Takes Foxtrot right off the bat. They did make additional CVs to start their Team A and Z did. So they will be capturing more than our red team, I do believe. Looks like they didn't make any really extra CVs. And Lynx 20 mils here going at it. And the Panthers firing those ground-based rockets. Stunned the 20 mil for a minute there, but they will be taking out quite a bit. In the meantime, Lynx takes out the Mistral. Mistral takes out the Lynx there. A and Z will make it to Delta first. Now, this is Apocalypse Imminent, the map. And I actually have not played on this map in a long time. The reason is because of all the new maps that came out. My friends and I were just basically trying out all the new maps and learning those. And we actually used to play on this map a lot. But I sort of dislike this map in a couple of different ways. One is that these bridges here on the maps typically turn into absolute killing zones, and you can never get over them, although he is getting over them in the beginning of the game here. Morpheus has made it across the bridge, but that was with a large force, and you can see he's losing quite a bit to do that. But once you actually spread out, both sides spread out, and defend these properly with armor and anti-air and various means of mixed forces, it's very, very difficult to get across these bridges. Easier said than done, rather. And unless you smoke, and then if you do smoke, you're going to lose quite a bit on the other side. So particularly destruction games don't work so well trying to get across these bridges, so it turns into a big stalemate on the left side of the map here. Even trying to get around, as long as you got some anti-air along here, can't really be done. So most of the battle ends up in Delta between long-range armor, anti-air, and infantry here. And then it's very easy to bomb Delta, of course, as well. So it's sort of a very odd map, and hasn't been played in a while, at least in terms of my experience here. And Milan was firing away and gets finished off there. And now pouring into the woodline here, although this is very vulnerable. A bomber could come along and do a lot of damage to that woodline right now. The cleric going to be pushing across the way, but gonna back out. And we have some Marushikis also up at the line here. And again, this is a fairly open territory, but you can put some tanks here, and they can hit very far away. And as long as you defend them with some anti-air, they're pretty fine out in the open or along the town line here. And Rovers pouring across the bridge there. And again, no real setup defense here by Faust or the rest of A and Z. It looks like some reinforcements are going to be coming along shortly. But again, once you defend this area here, very, very difficult to get across these two little bridges. Even if you smoke it there, as soon as you smoke, you can obviously tell that your opponent or you, whatever, what have you, are going across the bridge. If your opponent smokes all over the bridge here, you know that he's going across that bridge. And if you have some vision of any kind, you can tell where he is and when he's going to cross. and then just simply bomb the bridge and take out tons of troops. Maru's here firing into the wood line and doing a lot of damage. And both of them nearly out of fuel. Looks like they are brought from Delta there, I believe. And now tons of troops being brought in to Foxtrot here to hold this off. +4 advantage for Team A and Z. And that is because they brought those extra CVs out in the beginning. I believe they brought 1 or 2 extra ones out in the beginning. And tons of Nanashikis here being brought forward. And Saxons pouring into the line there. Panther Fusilier is still alive. No, this is a new pack of them, and they're going to be trying to get into the wood line there, but it's going to take a lot of heat trying to do that. And I still would like to see some bombers come along, or even artillery, mortars, any kind, what have you, bombing that wood line there, because that would be pretty easy. Or also could work both ways there and bomb this wood line here for the red team. Either way, as you pretty much could just blindfold yourself, spin around in circles, and then click somewhere in that wood line, and you would get something because it's so just packed full. Leclerc over here firing away. Has a really good angle of attack on some of these units that are getting inside the wood line and on the edge of it there. And Leclerc is just having a field day. Now he's just going to back out as the Etentard is coming along. And Leclerc takes a direct shot there. And I'm surprised it was not destroyed. It is all jacked up, but it survived with 1 bar of health remaining. Heavy hogs there. 70 million. Those vehicles on the ground, and just need to push forward a little bit more and could get these Fusiliers. Chieftain pushing forward here. And it looks like the heavy hogs may go down here shortly. Closed arrow firing away. And there goes the second one. And now Delta still does not have his CV, just now bringing in one. And the Battle of Foxtrot here looks like a losing battle for our red team, as not too many reinforcements are coming in now, and tons of reinforcements are coming in from A and Z. I think it will just be a matter of time before they are pushed out of this area. And once they are pushed out, as long as A and Z pushes forward into this wood line here, again, very, very, very difficult to actually push across the bridge and retake that. A very challenging map to play, and I think it heavily relies on who can get Delta and who can push across the other side first. And it appears that our red team really didn't go after Delta all that strong in the beginning of the game. Like, they just gave it up. Instead, they tried to get through to Foxtrot and or Echo there, and it sort of backfired on them. And now they will not get Delta back, or it would be very difficult to do so. They'd pretty much have to push with everything they got, and that's going to be easier said than done. Of course, Leclerc pushing forward. And nearly out of ammunition there. Only 5 Sabos left. And Chieftain almost took another rocket there. And another one incoming. And takes that one for sure. And it destroys that whole tank there. Leclerc backing up. Only 5 rounds. Needs a cargo vehicle there. A couple of them all the way over here. And we'll speed this up to just about the 2x mark there to see what's going on. And bringing over a DAP to the line here for defense, for air defense. There is a Lynx there that will be finished off by that DAP. And there goes, finishes that Lynx off there with those Stingers. Now the Puma making its way around here, and looks like just a scouting Puma. Nothing too crazy. You're going to see what's over here and what it can do. Scimitar. chasing him down now, moving over to the left here to try and get some shots in. This one will be too late. This one may be able to get some shots off. It looks like the Puma's going right towards it. And he'll get blasted here. And may actually make it out of the line there. And he does. Actually survives. LRM here. And an MLRS talking is hard. All firing on this area at once, taking out all kinds of random stuff there. I seen some supply vehicles taken out, even some choppers taken out of the air. So some decent kills there. Didn't really get anything specifically tactical. And where is that chopper now? All the way over here, but there are some lynxes now coming. And dropped off SAS there. Finishes off that chopper there, just a sort of a scout chopper, not too big of a deal, but in any case, they finished it off. +1 advantage now for A and Z, and this is where Delta comes in handy, as this is the only reason why they have that +1. And our red team really didn't go for Delta at the beginning of the game. And CEV chilling. And it is in range, I believe, to be firing on some of these troops, but they're just not really visible, I don't believe, and a little bit too much in the way of its sight. And again, fairly stalematey map, and I think this is why this map is just not played very often anymore. I really don't see it hosted all that much, and I'm not really sure who actually called and said that this would be the map that they would play or agreed on. Not really sure how that works particularly, but I wouldn't have agreed with this map. It is a challenging map, I will give it that, and you do have to play a certain way, of course. And this is a good idea here. Here comes the smoke and a very large push now from our red team, going to be pushing across the way. There are some Buntine 90s there. They will finish off a few things as they come across. And using aquatic vehicles here to move across the way, amphibious if you will. And they are making their way across pretty well. And now the Rangers fighting back here. And Leclerc all the way in the back there, just having a field day, picking off whatever it can see, firing as fast as it can. However, now here comes the barrage, just as they come across that MLRS and LRM firing. At least one of them was. Didn't see which one exactly was firing there, but either way, getting barraged, all kinds of it. And lost most of their forces as they came across. There was a little bit too tight of a push just in that one area there, and that's why they lost so much. If they would have spread those out a little bit, possibly sent them along the road here and then pushed them across and sent some across this way, would have lost a little bit less. And even some across the road there might have been decent, or at least a distraction for that Leclerc to take out some various things. And smoke is still just piling in here. And they have so much artillery and or mortars that I'm surprised that they're even that they never really bombed the town out first. And you could have bombed the town out first and tried to take out as much as possible and then smoked and then went across. But instead they're just smoking and then went across, whereas you could have taken out some numbers with various random mortaring. Which I suppose is sort of military 101. Which was definitely a favorite, if you will, of the Germans in World War II. And that was why they were so successfully, particularly in the beginning of the war, is they would just bomb you unbelievably badly. They would take all of their artillery power and just focus it right on one town and pummel it to dust. Then they would send in units instead of sending in first and then artillery. Sort of pioneered that whole aspect there, I suppose. And now pushing across here with Leclercs. And 3 Leclercs. And some links to the Shiki up front there. Eating some damage. M1 IEP holding up fairly well, surprisingly. But won't last much longer there. Gets finished off. Hornets flying overhead now. And bombing all over the place. Or rather, missiling. One Leclerc nearly lost. The other one going strong here. CEV firing away, but unfortunately just the CEV won't be able to do too much to the Leclerc. Now the mortar firing and hitting the bridge. And Link's moving across here. Firing away at that STRV and the Leclercs. One of them may be lost, and it looks like it was actually finished off by that CEV. But that's because it had just about nothing left. And Maru here now being shut out by the CEV. And now finally the CEV's wrath has ended, but so has the Maru as well. And now ANZ doing their own push up through Gulf after that failed push of ANZ. Now that the area here has been cleared out a little bit. Gurkhas, they're being dropped off and released as these Saxons are being destroyed. The Huey, or that M60 out of the side, trying to stop these Gurkhas before they make it into the woodline there. And the Tiger should be able to finish all of this off here. Rockets and those 30 mils doing a lot of work, but the Tiger there gets finished off. Super Edentard under fire from the Pivads. And unfortunately the Pivads does not get it, which was surprising. It was flying right over that Pivads. Shiki G's now moving across the way. And now ANZ really pushing across hard here, spreading out fairly well. Some on the left side, some on the right side there. And basically just Nanamonai and Faust here pushing across. Lots of Shiki G's. And Link's 20 mils moving across. And looks like the TACOM will fall here, which will increase that to +2 for ANZ, as they did lose Delta at some point. I actually didn't see how they lost Delta. Must have just been collateral damage from the massive battle that ensued there moments ago. And the TACOM survives, which is very surprising. +2 advantage now for ANZ as that TACOM is moving. And I think next game I will actually... It looks like Kilo was taken out there by 2 20 mils. They made it around somehow. I actually don't even know how they made that all the way around there. Perhaps around that DAP. I didn't see how they made it even around. Perhaps it just went through there. And the TACOM says, never surrender. But as I was saying, next game I do believe I will, I think maybe I'll do somebody from the other team, their deck, and I will put maybe Nexon's deck on there, so that you guys can get one deck from both of the teams here. As this will go into the next game after this. ANZ takes the first game out of a best of 3 in the 4chan 3 vs 3 tournament. And so that's game 1 there. And again, I'll put Faust's deck in the description, and so you guys can use that. And then next game I'll put Nexon, and if it goes into game 3, I will I'll choose another random perhaps from the winner of Game 3, I suppose I will choose that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I'll see you guys next time.